now the starting lineup for the Elk Lake Warriors. At guard, senior number 11, Dave Tewksbury. At guard, number 31, Tom Wooden. At forward, number 33, Jim Hunsinger. At forward, number 43, Bob Stevenson. At center, number 55, 6 feet 8 inches, Mark Schultz. The entire Warrior team coached by Mike Red Wallace. The officials for today's game, Frank Pelago.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, from the Hershey Park Arena, Hershey, Pennsylvania, it's time for high school basketball at its best. This afternoon, we've got the Class A championship basketball game in the state of Pennsylvania. In the dark uniforms, we've got the Elk Lake Warriors, unbeaten in 35 starts. And in the light uniforms, the Shanksville Stony Creek Vikings, 28-1. This is it for all the money, marbles, and chalk in the Class A division in the state of Pennsylvania. We've got the championship game. The officials are Frank Pelago and Pat Denoy. Denoy has the basketball, and we're ready for action. It is Todd Evans to your left, Schultz to your right for Elk Lake, and Elk Lake is on the basketball. Number 33 is Tim Hunsinger. Hunsinger inside to their big man, Stevenson. Stevenson, 35 a game missing. And Todd Evans pulling down the rebound for Shanksville Stony Creek. Nice crowd on hand here this afternoon for this championship action on this day of championships in Pennsylvania. Missing is Evans. Rebound Schultz for Elk Lake. Out of District 12, PIAA, coached by Mike Red Wallace. That's Stevenson, 35 a game. Watch him. He can't get it to go. Wooden with the rebound. Wooden can't get it to go, and Evans clears his second board for the Shanksville Stony Creek Vikings. Their only loss to Myersdale, District 5, PIAA. That's Wooden with a loose ball pickup. Has it knocked away, but Wooden controlling with a fine effort coming forward court. Number 31. Wooden, a 5'10 junior. Make that a senior. Stevenson now outside. They call him for a double dribble. Put both hands on the ball at one point. Trail official Pat Denoy right on the call. And so in a scoreless ball game, after 1 minute of play, we've got Elk Lake down court in their zone defense. Now they've matched up in a man. They like to go man for man. So does Shanksville. Very interesting matchup here. Elk Lake, the bigger team, right down the middle. Todd Evans. Evans, 29 points a game on the season and 12 rebounds. Elk Lake will be pressed here now. Coach Wayne Long of Shanksville says, with his bigger team, I've got to pressure the basketball. Tewksbury with the ball outside for Elk Lake. The press is broken. To the right corner. Around everything, Hunsinger. Hunsinger with a good hustle effort to pick up the loose ball. Wooden wide open. Outside, they say that the arm was hit, and so we have the first foul of the basketball game against Chris Busser.
I think we're going to have a very interesting matchup inside with Stevenson. He's going to have 5 inches on his defender, Dave Lowry, and it could cause a problem as far as Shanksville is concerned.
Tom Wooden to the foul line, 5'10 senior, 2-shot foul here. Still a 2-0 ball game in favor of Shanksville. Watch number 43, Bob Stevenson. He's quite a basketball player. The 4th leading scorer in the history of the state of Pennsylvania. And we have that list of leading scorers all time. It's very interesting. Score is 2-1 now in favor of the team with the basketball. And in their forecourt, Shanksville Stony Creek will control. Musser will key it in from the near sideline. In front of the media table down below us. The benches here at Hershey Park Arena are located in the end zone. Todd Evans. Nice block that time inside by Stevenson. Here comes Elk Lake. Too many men back, so wisely Hunsinger slows it up. 2-1, Elk Lake trailing. Stevenson wheeling and dealing. Bob Stevenson, 6'4", senior. Let's take a look at it.
Lob pass to Stevenson inside, shows the ball one way and comes back the other. Good move.
Number 22 is wide open. Nice feed by Chris Busser and Dave Lowry. And we've got a 4-3 ball game. Again, Shanksville on top by 1. Stevenson, what a spin move. Stevenson didn't get the glass. And here comes Busser on a fast break for Stony Creek with 2 men back. He wisely slows it up. Outside, Evans, their big man, 29 points a game, 12 rebounds a contest. Playing with an injured left eye that he hurt a couple of games ago. He bet it's not bothering him that much. Todd Evans from long range. Stevenson on the board. Sloppy pass. The ball goes back to Shanksville Stony Creek.
I think Shanksville may have trouble today because of the 4 overtime that they played yesterday. Could run into some problems as far as their physical condition.
Okay, back on the basketball, Musser. Off to Todd Evans, left of the circle as you see it. The cross court, near side, number 30 is Platt. Don Platt, the 5'8 senior. Evans trying to get free. Too much traffic. Musser down the middle. Chris Musser, the 5'10 senior. 18 points a game. It's 6-3 now. Shanksville with the lead. Oh, I tell you what, Stevenson did a good job there. Tewksbury couldn't find the handle. 4:39 left in the first quarter of play. And this is the state Class A championship game. And I think we've got a timeout indicated by Elk Lake.
I thought maybe they would put a smaller man on Evans.
It's a mismatch for sure. In one way, height, obviously. Right. Evans 6'2" and the 6'8 guy, Schultz. But Evans the much better athlete. And I say that in all fairness to Schultz. Evans a great athlete. We've got a foul at midcourt, a pushing foul against Elk Lake.
Now they
Tewksbury, the 5'11 junior, senior, first foul.
They're matching up differently on defense, Elk Lake.
6-3. The team with the ball has the 3-point lead. Platt. Nice dig away from behind. Hunsinger throws it right back. Musser to bring it forecourt now for the Vikings of Stony Creek. Platt trying to dump it off Stevenson. Great steal. Good. Look at that lead feed there for Wooden. Tewksbury. Dave Tewksbury, the 5'11 senior. You'll hear the public address announcer, Jerry Schuckert, here calling him Tewksbury. He said either is acceptable. He prefers Tewksbury. His family calls him Tewksbury. He's trying to dig the ball away there, but as you see in the right corner, that 5 jump shot for Todd Evans. 8-5 now. Shanksville on top by 3 and pressing. State Class A championship game on this day of championships on public television. High dribble. Hunsinger turns it over.
Elk Lake made a defensive adjustment. They put Woodson on Todd Evans and moved Schultz back to another man. So that's going to create a little better matchup as far as Elk Lake.
Elk Lake now with 5 turnovers, so that press of Stony Creek is bothering the Warriors. Platt to Lowry. Lowry with a good board, and he's hacked on the arm underneath. Let's see who picks up the foul. It could be Schultz.
And Lowry gets the ball inside. Good ball fake right there, and resulting in the foul.
Mark Schultz, the 6'8 senior for Elk Lake, who averaged 10 rebounds a contest during their fine undefeated season, picks up the personal foul. Team fouls now. 1 for Stony Creek, 2 for Elk Lake. And we've got a 9-5 ball game, and Lowry at the line could make it 10. 3:27 left first quarter. Dave Lowry, 5'11 senior, 17 points a game, 10 rebounds a contest. Immediately, the Vikings pressing. The Warriors trying to solve it. Hunsinger deep. Hunsinger to Wooden. Wooden to Stevenson, wheeling and dealing with 2 under the basket. No rebound. Not when it goes in like that. It's 10-7 now. And of the 7 points for Elk Lake, Stevenson has 4. 3:09 left first quarter. Team with the basketball leads by 3. Lowry, side rim. Good hustle that time by both Evans and Musser. Evans in traffic. Lowry with a spin. Lowry with a fadeaway. Rebound on the other side. Here comes Dave Lowry. I had Lowry with the basketball, and Lowry scored. Platt took the original shot. Platt is number 30. Lowry's number 40. Stevenson got into trouble. Tewksbury arrived just in time. Hunsinger wide open. Jim Hunsinger, 5'10 senior, 8.8 points per game, and also is their assist leader with 8 to 9 assists a ball game for the Elk Lake Warriors. We've got a 3-point ball game. 12 to 9. Stony Creek on top. Down the middle, Lowry in heavy traffic. Whistle on the play. He charges.
Lowry getting the ball in the high post here. Spins, but good help from the backside by Schultz, drawing the charge and foul. Good defensive play.
Lowry's first foul. Team fouls even 2 apiece now. 12 to 9. Shanksville, Stony Creek leading. Elk Lake trying to do something about it. Stevenson with a nice move off the glass. Bob Stevenson. 6 points. It's a 1-point ball game. Elk Lake has led only one time so far, a 1-point lead at 3-2. Substitution getting ready now for Shanksville. Shanksville turned the ball over on a travel. 4th time they've turned it over. And into the ball game for the Shanksville Vikings is number 20, John Fox. And he'll replace Don Platt, the 5'8 senior. So let's take a look at this very fine basketball player, Stevenson, who's down court on the lead break. Stevenson with only one man back using the glass. Bob Stevenson, 8 of the 13 points for Elk Lake, who now captures a 13-12 lead, only their second of the game. Kicking the ball, Stevenson, and the ball will go back to Shanksville Stony Creek. 1:40 left of the first quarter. Bill Hillgrove along with Bill Cardill, Doug Zimmerman, and Dr. Tony Brungo here at the Hershey Park Arena on this day of championships on public television in high school basketball in the state of Pennsylvania. Evans, Schultz on the rebound for Elk Lake, who has a 1-point lead. With 1:27, Tewksbury to Hunsinger. Hunsinger with a great burst of acceleration there. Somebody fouled him, but they didn't call it. Tip up, no good. And we've got a rebound there by Dennis Freeman, the 6'1 senior for Shanksville Stony Creek. Musser forecourt for the Vikings, who trail by 1. They've kind of had the early edge so far, but now Elk Lake starting to get on track just a little bit. The press has bothered them, no question about it. This is Evans, the most dangerous player on the floor for Shanksville. Too much defense, so back to Musser. Musser to the baseline. Stevenson on the board. And the Warriors fast breaking. Stevenson likes to come to his left. He's a left-handed player, as you see. Lowry with the rebound, and here comes Evans. 2 men back, now 3. Wisely slows it up. Nice dig away by Tewksbury. Wild feed to Hunsinger. Elk Lake turns it over now for the 6th time. And we've got a foul in the backcourt.
Last couple times down the floor, Shanksville has shown a little bit of the effects of the 4 overtimes from yesterday. All 4 of their 5 people, the last people down the floor.
Tewksbury's second personal, 3 team fouls for Elk Lake now to 2 for Shanksville Stony Creek. Into the ball game, a new player for the Vikings, number 54, Glenn Zola, 5'11 senior, and he replaces Dave Lowry, the 5'11 senior, so no loss in height on that exchange of personnel. 27 seconds first quarter, a 1-point ball game. The team with the ball is trailing by 1. Musser in the lane to the new player, Glenn Zola. Musser looking for inside traffic to Evans, and the ball dug away by Tewksbury to Hunsinger. 11 seconds left of the quarter. Will Elk Lake get a shot away? Here's the man to take it, Stevenson, and he's fouled with 6 seconds. Bob Stevenson will step to the foul line. Doug Zimmerman, let's take a look.
Again, ball going inside. Stevenson feels back underneath the bucket. Uses the backside of the bucket very well. Tries to protect himself and the ball from the defensive player.
Stevenson, the left-hander, a 74% foul shooter on the season. 35 points a game, 17 rebounds. The 4th leading scorer in the history of Pennsylvania high school basketball. And that list is impressive. At the top of it, Tom McMillan, followed by Ron Crick, followed by Bob Stevenson, who has now become the 3rd all-time scorer, so I'll get that corrected right away. We've got a 15-12 ball game. This is the biggest lead now for Elk Lake. 3 seconds as Musser tries something. 1 second, and that's it. That's the end of the first quarter here in the Class A State Championship boys basketball game at the Hershey Park Arena.
Shooting off balance the last 3 or 4 minutes. They find themselves down by 3. Let's see if they can straighten that out. Evans with the ball. Mr. Everything. Hits the boards, scores well. Bad pass that time as he came out to Hunsinger. Evans averages 29 points a game with 12 rebounds. Wooden works it under to Stevenson. The southpaw puts it on the baseline. He knows where he is at all times on both ends of the court. Flat with it. John Fox, number 20 in the lineup. Evans from long distance, no good. Musser, 12-footer switch. 17-14. Elk Lake on top. They've averaged 30 points of victory this season, so you know they usually blow a team off the floor. Beating a team on the average 30 points. Their record is 35 and zip. But Shanksville Stony Creek Vikings 28-1. And day before yesterday, we saw 4 overtime games. Fantastic. Let's see what Evans does with it. He's double teamed underneath, still goes up with a shot, puts it in. That was determination. 17-16. Shanksville back, trailing by 1. This Hunsinger impresses me, Doug. Elk Lake doesn't have a weak man on their team. They move the ball very well.
Very much so, and they use all their players well, aside from the fact that Stevenson's such a good ball player.
Look at Stevenson. He had the open shot passed off underneath to Schultz, who's 6'8". He gets a nosebleed every time he stands up. 19-16, Elk Lake by 3. Lowry tried to bounce it over to Musser. The ball went awry, and that's the 8th turnover for Shanksville.
Number 30, Don Platt.
Number 30, Don Platt, who started, is back into the lineup for Glenn Zola. Starting lineup, Raymond in there, 52. Freeman is 6'1". Lowry has to guard Stevenson. Stevenson is uncanny. No wonder all the colleges want him. He had 10 points in the first quarter. He has 14 now. His team has 21. Shanksville has 16. Basketball is a team sport. There are 5 out there. And you can't just collapse, go box and 1 on Stevenson because they have other ball players. You see Stevenson hit the board. Here he comes. Will he go all the way? No. Tried to bounce pass it underneath. Tewksbury got the errant pass up. It took an Elk Lake bounce. Working the perimeter into Stevenson. Stevenson tried to drive. Let's see what the call is. Foul call on Dave Lowry, his second. Watch it, Doug.
Again, trying to isolate Stevenson inside. Foul is from behind on the arm on the shot.
Doug, how would you defense against this Elk Lake team?
So the major problem with the defensing Elk Lake would be try maybe to front Stevenson low and then get weak side help from the backside to try to prevent him, if he does get the ball, from going to the hole.
I was going to try to say that maybe they ought to try 7 men on the court. That might help.
How about baseball bats and golf clubs? Something like that.
Stevenson is something. We invite you to support public television. Operators are standing by right now to take your pledge. Call now and let your public television station continue to broadcast great programs. Operators are standing by. Phone in your pledge right now.
Hit those phones. Look at that pyramid out there, huh? Nice. Elk Lake Warrior cheerleaders out there. They said we don't have numbers, but mention us.
If I could point out one thing here, Shanksville as a rule does not sub very much at all, and they're running subs in and out, which I think is indicative of the fact that Shanksville, after those 4 overtime games yesterday, is a little on the tired side.
Right, Doug. I tell you, Elk Lake, when they came out in the zone, Shanksville jumped to the big lead there, 6-7 points, but then they went to the man-to-man. It's been a different ball game. 21-16. Look at that tackle. Nice inbounds play. Watch this one.
Just an isolated lob pass on the out-of-bounds play to Stevenson.
Platt with the ball. Biggest lead, 7 points for Elk Lake. Traveling call, Don Platt. That would be a turnover because of intimidation underneath. He didn't know whether to go in and drive on Schultz. He looked for a pass. So did that young man. Neither got it. Lead pass to Stevenson. This is the second time. Oh, he controlled the ball. Got the hoop, maybe a 3-point play.
And what Elk Lake is doing on this out-of-bounds play, you can't see it in this particular play, but they're isolating Stevenson all by himself on the far end of the floor, just trying to get him the ball and let him go one-on-one.
Stevenson the other day sat out most of the game. He was in foul trouble, and some of the fans were saying, gee, we hope he doesn't get in early foul trouble. You'll see a good ball player if not. Well, we've seen a fine ball player. We have 5 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the first half. If you're going by scoring, Stevenson has 18 points. 18 of the 25, team 25. They're up by 9. Stony Creek, they need a hoop right now. Coached by Wayne Long out of Juniata. 11 years coach, 5 years as head coach. Aaron pass to Wooden, lead pass out to Tewksbury. Will he go all the way? He does, but was he fouled? Yes. Richard blew the whistle, called it on Chris Musser, his second.
Shanksville has come by a scoring drought that really, I'm sure Wayne Long, the head coach, is unhappy about. In about 6 minutes of play, they've scored 4 points, and certainly that's a problem.
25-16 is the score. 4:38 remaining in the first half. Tewksbury puts it up, around, drops right through. 26-16. A 10-point lead for the Warriors from Elk Lake. That's 40 miles north of Scranton, Pennsylvania, out of District 12. Off the front of the iron, and it dropped. 27-16. Shanksville, Stony Creek. They need a hoop, and they need one bad. They need something here. Let's see if they come up with it. Another turnover. In their anxiety to swing the ball around the perimeter, Stony Creek just picked up their 11th turnover. Pressing the ball here, lead pass, no. That time they looked for Stevenson, but they couldn't get it down. Wooten with it. Hunsinger. He'll take the shot. They're leaving him open. Wooten got the rebound. Baseline, 10-footer around the rim and in. Everything's dropping for Shanksville. For Elk Lake. Nothing seems to be going right for Shanksville. 29-16. The press, now we're driving. Let's see what happens here. Baseline. Iron, nothing. Freeman came up short. Stevenson, lead pass. Tewksbury, fast break in. Wowee. Watch this one.
Hey, big man with the ball does a good job passing off on the break. Excellent.
He's court-wise. He knows where to move. Let's see what happens now. What Wayne Long told the Vikings from Shanksville, Stony Creek. Evans with it. He hasn't been touching the ball much. Let's see. He has it. 20-footer. Short. Man underneath was Stevenson. Oh! Good defensive intimidation that time by Dave Lowry. He forces turnover on Stevenson. Stevenson ambidextrous. He uses left and right. He's a southpaw, but he can use either hand. Write it down. 20-footer. Oh, no good. Freeman, rebound, high off the glass, no good, and Stevenson was under jump ball between Stevenson and Evans. Todd Evans at 6'2" will jump against Stevenson 6'5". These are the two big guns for each team. Evans went up, tipped the ball, but tipped it to the Warriors, Hunsinger. Underneath. Look at that. Time shot. Can't do it any better. No way.
Hey, good pass here, good lead pass, but great body control, catching the ball in the air and shooting it before he hits the ground.
Foul called on Tewksbury. He picks up his third. I don't know about the bench of Elk Lake, but it could be a factor later, even though there's a differential of 17 points here.
Shanksville switched defenses. They're in a 2-3 zone now, which is going to try and put a little more pressure on Stevenson inside.
33-16. Evans goes down the lane, banks it in. That's the first field goal, Bill, in some time.
And, of course, Evans has been held now to 6 points, and that's one of the keys as far as the Elk Lake defense is concerned.
I have a feeling Shanksville will be looking for Evans. They'll force the ball into him and hoping that he'll get some action. Musser picks up his third. Chris Musser gets his third personal. 2:43 remaining first half. Tewksbury comes out. Now we'll see what his replacement, Jake Warner, number 15, will do.
Shanksville's 2-3 zone with those three people in the back line. Good adjustment on their part is going to put a man in front of Stevenson and then give him weak side help from behind.
And that's what you called about 10 minutes ago to try to do. Very good. Good analysis, Doug. Glenn Zola, number 54, is in the lineup once again for Shanksville. Off the front of the iron, the ball taken off by Riemann. Slows it down, gets it out to Musser. Musser, in turn, gives it to John Fox. Fox down the lane, bounces over to Lowry. 12-footer, no good. And the big man, Schultz, took it out of the outstretched arms of Dennis Riemann. Warner, pass underneath to Stevenson. They're doubling. Schultz couldn't control. Musser comes out of the pack, being hounded by Jake Warner. There he goes, trying to drive, but there's Schultz. Oh! No whistle. Fox penetrates. No field goal. Stevenson bounced it out over the line. 2:05 remaining. The officials. Hey, let's watch Stevenson on defense underneath.
Okay, if you can watch here, he's almost playing a zone defense. He's basically just staying in that lane area, not really chasing his man around the court. It's almost like 4-man playing man-to-man defense and 1 man playing his zone, but they want to keep it close to the bucket where they can use his rebounding power.
That's a reverse box and 1, I guess.
Glenn Zola leaves the lineup. Lowry with it. Tries to drive. Went to bank. And Stevenson, good defensive move with that big left-handed paw of his, batted it out of bounds.
What impresses you about Stevenson, I think, most is his explosiveness. He's an explosive athlete.
Behind a screen, 20-footer, no good. But putting it right back up and in, Dave Lowry. Good position. 33-20. We still have a game. It's not over. 13-point lead for Elk Lake. Offensive foul on Wooden. He picks up his first. 14. Mike Boyer comes into the lineup for Shanksville. Replaces John Fox, who was the first sub for Coach Wayne Long. Musser gets it over to Evans. 15-footer swish. Musser. 33. I thought it was 33-22. Our scoreboard here said 20. Now they changed it. We were right, they were wrong.
As usual.
Looking on the perimeter, tried to isolate, let Stevenson go one-on-one. Bringing 4 men out on the center. Now they go into Stevenson. A whistle on the play, let's see. Foul. Nice bounce pass. Freeman had it blocked, though. Evans tried to get it. Boyer has it. Got it over to Lowry, who put it in. Nice move.
If pass goes to Lowry here, he's really playing an excellent game. He's 5'11", and he's given up plenty of inches to Schultz at 6'8", and Stevenson at 6'5", and he's still doing an excellent job.
Stevenson high off the board. He has confidence, doesn't he?
Very good shot. Nice, soft touch, high-arcing shot. A lot of the roll off that shot make it go in.
He has as many points as Shanksville's entire team, 24. The score is 37-24.
Takes great body control to change that arc at the last minute.
I'm sure a lot of young men and women watching this game will be impressed with Stevenson, but see, he can go left and right. You can't defense and say, well, he's only going to left. Look at that. Let's watch that.
Excellent pass by Stevenson. He was on one side of the floor, saw Woodson on the other, and just threaded the needle. It was a good play.
At the clock, Stevenson tried to throw the lead pass, but to no avail. It's halftime here at the Hershey Park Arena with the score Elk Lake 39, Shanksville Stony Creek 24. We'll be back with second half action in just a few moments. Right now, we return you to our studios.
The team in green with a big 6'8" center jump. Schultz leads by 15 as we start the second half of the state Class A boys championship game. Hunsinger on the basket, and the lead is 17. 30, I'll make that 41-24. A 17-point bulge by Elk Lake, unbeaten in 35 starts, and right now the way things are going, it could be unbeaten in 36. A fine basketball team coached by Mike Red Wallace. Rebound by Hunsinger after the missed shot by Todd Evans. Evans held to 6 points in the first half, and he came in averaging 29 a game for the Shanksville Stony Creek Vikings. We've got a foul in the forecourt. Referee Frank Pelago making the call, and he says it. Elk Lake. I'm sorry, the foul is on Shanksville. Dave Lowry picks up his third personal foul. First team foul of the second half for Shanksville. Common foul key in for the Warriors.
Bill, we have split officials, one from the east, one from the west.
Woo! Nice basket. Bob Stevenson now, 26 points, which is more than the entire Shanksville team had. Lowry in traffic, changed the arc, and it cost him a bucket. Stevenson, watch him on the fast break. He's a joy to watch. Unbelievable. 45-24. Let's take a look at it. Doug Zimmerman.
Excellent move. Changes hands. Goes to his right. Nice soft shot.
45-24. The 21-point bulge for Elk Lake is the biggest in the ball game. 6:45 left in the third quarter. Platt doesn't get it. Schultz gets the rebound and kicks it out to Stevenson, and here comes that Elk Lake fast break. Down the pipe, Tewksbury. What an assist for Bob Stevenson. Tewksbury on the bucket. Stevenson, we understand, is going to play in the Sharon Hoyle tournament, and Bill Cardill, of course, familiar with that since that's his hometown. And Chili Billy, I understand you played there yourself.
Yes, a long time ago, and I was just starting then back in at the end of World War II, and I was in high school, and I really enjoyed it, and Mr. Hoyle was an outstanding man. As a matter of fact, he took me as a junior and asked me to get 10 players together, and he managed us, and I took a team, and we went into other tournaments. Nice man.
Stevenson with one of his few misses. Here comes Musser, 2-on-2. Platt couldn't hold it. Platt tried to save it, and the ball goes to Elk Lake. Turnovers in the game now. We've got a dozen for Shanksville and only 10 for the Elk Lake Warriors, who lead by a 47-24 count. Make that 49. Stevenson now with 30 points. Came in averaging 35. You kind of figure he'll make his average this afternoon in the state Class A championship ball game in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Musser with Hunsinger bothering. Man-for-man defense by the Elk Lake Warriors. Outside the key, that's Riemann. Musser tried to get it away, but he drew the foul by Hunsinger from behind. Let's take a look at it.
Musser here with the ball. Pass. Gets it. You have a little ball fake, just enough pause there to draw that man off his feet into him for the foul.
Standing at the foul line is Chris Musser, 5'10" senior, averaged 18 points a game for the Shanksville Stony Creek Vikings. 28-1 coming into this game. Their only loss to Myersdale, District 5, TIAA. Averaged 87 points a game. The opposition 59. That's quite a margin of victory average of about 28 points. Elk Lake was a little better with 30 points a game, better than the opposition. Their closest game was a 3-point win over Riverside, a AAA team. It's 49-26, 23-point lead for the team that has the basketball. Hunsinger for Elk Lake. Tewksbury outside. Hunsinger wide open, did not want to shoot it. He's looking for his man Stevenson, and he got him, and we got a 3-point possibility. Bob Stevenson, 32 points. Let's take a look at it.
And Stevenson going to his favorite spot, down the low post, a little ball fake inside, wheels back baseline, nice move.
Get Stevenson at 6'5" on those 5'11" people, and you've got a situation that I'm sure Coach Wayne Long of Shanksville is concerned about. Stevenson with a left-hander. 3-point play, 33 points from Bob Stevenson, 2 below his average on the season, and we've got 13 minutes of basketball left. 52-26 now. Elk Lake in control of the game for the moment. Pick outside by Black. Musser can't use it. Gets the shot blocked by Stevenson, but a foul before the block. The foul is on Hunsinger.
Stevenson again staying pretty much in the middle of that floor, right in the lane area where he can stay in the action. Good block shot.
2 fouls on Hunsinger, 2 team fouls apiece for these teams. 5:07 third quarter, and Musser trying to do something about this big deficit. Matter of fact, as you look at it, Elk Lake has doubled the output of Shanksville, 52-26 and now 27.
Elk Lake has scored 3 points so far in the second half, and they've all been unfouled.
Tewksbury to Stevenson with 2 men trying to watch him in his own defense by Coach Wayne Long of the Shanksville Vikings. Somerset County. As Chili Billy told you, Elk Lake is located 40 miles north of Scranton. That's Wooden. Nice move in the lane. Tom Wooden, 5'10" senior, came in averaging in double figures at 10.3 points per game. Just good balance on this Elk Lake ball club. Riemann way outside. Schultz trying to bother him. Platt with Hunsinger all over him. Here comes Riemann from the corner on the feed by Zola. No good. Wooden quickly down court. 3 men back. Tewksbury holds it up. Looks for his main man, Stevenson. Look at that change of the arc. Incredible basketball player. Bob Stevenson, 35 points.
Good pass into the lane to Stevenson. Nice soft touch. Uses the glass well in all of his shots.
Coach Wayne Long of Shanksville wants to talk it over. I don't know what can be said by a coach in this position right now. I don't envy Wayne Long, Doug Zimmerman, but as the head coach at Slippery Rock, if a team falls behind by this amount, this amount of points, what do you say? What's the psychology that you can employ at this point in the ballgame?
You have to try and tell them that there's still a lot of time left, that maybe if they can do a decent job or somehow shut down Stevenson and keep them from scoring, they could get back into the game.
There we take a look at the Elk Lake cheerleaders. Elk Lake 35-0 from District 12 with a PIAA.
Look at this.
Oh. This is one of the best pyramids I've seen.
Oh, my. Look at that pyramid.
I hope they don't lose their balance. Very good job by the Elk Lake cheerleaders.
If they get in trouble, they can call Schultz, 6'8". He'll go over and help them down. You know what's amazing? With Schultz at 6'8", he's intimidating. He has 2 points.
56-27.
They don't look for him. They look for Stevenson at 6'5". They can't be all wrong, can they?
Not at 35 and 0.
Wow.
Not only does Stevenson average 35 points a game, he averages 17 rebounds. He's now got 35 points. We've got 12 minutes and 10 seconds of basketball left here in the state Class A championship basketball game from the Hershey Park Arena. So Hillgrove, along with Bill Cardill, Doug Zimmerman, and Dr. Tony Brungo on this championship day on public television. We've got the AA boys and the AAA boys games to follow here. 56-27. Elk Lake considerably in charge. And another costly turnover for the Shanksville Stony Creek Vikings. Back at the starting of the game, in case you've just joined us, it was Shanksville coach Wayne Long's desire to press and bother Elk Lake, and it worked for a while, as Shanksville had leads of 3 and 5 points. But once Elk Lake, with moves like that by Stevenson, took control, it was Katie bar the door. 37 points for number 43, Bob Stevenson. 3:37 left of the third quarter. Flat into the right corner. Flat with Hunsinger all over. Tewksbury almost took it away, but the ball's out of bounds going to Shanksville. In 35 ball games, the Elk Lake Warriors scored a total of 2,857 points. The opposition was limited to 1,807 points. 58-27. Elk Lake with Stevenson on a break, 2-on-1. No problem.
Look at that body control, Bill. That body control was out of sight. Gee.
You run out of superlatives after a while. Just sit back and enjoy the poetry, because that's what it is. Stevenson's not involved here. He doesn't have to be. 62-27. Shanksville has only to try to get it together. Not much you can do with a team like this Elk Lake team. Evans has been held to 6 points so far, all in the first half. 4 of those in the second quarter. And he came in averaging 29 a game for Shanksville.
I think a lot of credit for that.
He looks like a helicopter. That ability to hang in the air.
A lot of credit to that. Keeping Evans down must go to Wooden. He's done an excellent defensive job on Evans.
We got Stevenson, Schultz, Hunsinger, Wooden, and Tewksbury for the Elk Lake Warriors in the dark uniforms. Evans, Lowry, Musser, Platt, and Riemann. Now Zola's in there for Shanksville. That's Todd Evans. His 8th point. 2:14 left in the third quarter. It's 62-29. In this entire third quarter, Shanksville's managed only 5 points. Stevenson trying to buzz bomb. Schultz on the nice follow. Wooden with a great rebound, and he's fouled on the play. He was bothered by a man in front and a man behind, and I believe the man behind caught the arm. Todd Evans picks up his 4th personal, spelling further doom for this Shanksville Stony Creek team. It's really a shame that you get this far with only 1 loss, and not a loss to Myersdale, and then all of a sudden you just let things get out of control. Where Shanksville's problems have stopped, and where the Elk Lake overall balance and ability have picked up, is a very questionable thing in a minute 59 third quarter.
Phil, is there any truth in the rumor that Elk Lake wants to tour the Orient with the Philadelphia 76ers?
I tell you what, I think this team could play in a higher classification and be very competitive. Certainly AA and possibly AAA. They're that kind of a ball club. with a height of 6'8" and 6'5" on the front line and that All-American potential of Stevenson, there's something to behold. Let's enjoy the basketball game. Outside, Freeman, number 52, to Evans, trying to get free, and he is clobbered by Stevenson. Stevenson's first foul of the basketball game, a minute 35 of the third quarter.
Evans getting the ball. This is one of the few times that Elk Lake's allowed him to penetrate into the lane. Good ball fake, good control, draws a foul on Stevenson.
Shooting 2 shots, Todd Evans, 29 points a game. Has been held now to 9 in this contest so far, 6 in the first half. It's 64-30, 34-point lead for Elk Lake and the Warriors, coached by Mike Red Wallace. An assistant is Alan Keynes. Tom Wooden with a fine basket for Elk Lake to make it 66-31. Stevenson with a dish. Look at that bounce lead pass. A little too far for Tewksbury. Great job to save it. Look at that tip. Now look at that basketball.
I like to look at that sequence again.
A
Watch.
good pass by Stevenson. Now he'll come back down the floor with his hustle and make an excellent tip here off the ball in the air to Wooden. Nice play.
That's some awareness on the court.
Back to live action. Evans gets the basket, his second of this half. Evans now with a total of 12 points, and it's 68-43. The only player for Shanksville to get into double figures. Evans tried to control tip, and he just couldn't get enough hand on the ball. And he looks at Tewksbury and says, my fault, we'll do it again next time down the court. 44 seconds left of the third quarter. The state Class A championship basketball game. And to follow here on public TV, a fine AAA state boys championship game.
Nice.
Nice layup by Todd Evans, and Stevenson has his second foul. AAA girls game to follow as well here on public television. 33 seconds left of the third quarter. Stevenson has picked up his second team foul for the Elk Lake Warriors. 4 team fouls this half to 3 for Shanksville. 68-46 now. Trying to beat the press with a home run pass. Wooden is right there with that quickness to corral for Elk Lake. Nice dig away by Musser. Here comes Shanksville with a 3-on-1. Musser hanging in the air, followed by Evans. 68-48. Take a look at that one.
Musser made a good steal here. Takes it the length of the floor. Beats some of the people down the floor. Out of the right-hand part of the screen will come Evans for a nice tip-in.
Back to live action. We get a basket by Tom Wooden to make it 70-48 now. Elk Lake well in control. Shanksville with the lead with a deficit here to try to make up. Evans trying to bomb at the buzzer, does not. And that's the end of the third quarter here at the Hershey Park Arena with a score. Elk Lake 70, Shanksville Stone.
6'8" Mark Schultz, you could see him on our instant replay. He was coming, and I think Musser thought a tank was going beside him. You heard clump, clump, clump. He is big. Up, Evans. Yeah, Evans can jump. And Schultz, I think, may have picked up the foul. Let's see. Nope. It's going to be called on Shanksville, number 52, perhaps. Freeman is second. Freeman reaching in over the back of Schultz. Schultz, the 6'8" center, has averaged 10.4 points a game.
Hey, the reason for that call there, the official hands the ball to a player and designates a spot. He cannot move from that spot. He allows one step either way, and evidently this player took more than one.
And also about the jump balls. Once you get your position around wherever the jump ball may be on the key, you have to lock in, right, Doug?
You stay there until the official releases the ball, then you're free to move in any direction but into the lane, or into the jump circle.
A lot of infractions the early part of the season, but the youngsters got that straightened out. Evans with it. Wooden tipped it away. Shanksville looks for Evans, and they're looking for a good man. Before today's game, as we said, he averaged 29 points, but he also goes both ends. He averages 12 rebounds, the leading rebounder and scorer. But he hasn't been hitting from the outside, and that's where he had to take most of his shots. Hunsinger with it. It's 70-38. The outcome, the winning team is in doubt. It's just a question of what the score is. Stevenson, nice pass by Hunsinger. Hunsinger averaged about 9 points, 8.8 a game. 72-38, 7 minutes remaining. So the A Boys Championship will go to the east. But around the rim couldn't drop. Thundering Herd. Evans couldn't get the ball, got it back. In. Last year in the Class A, Bishop Klanowski beat St. John 81-78. So the championship will stay in the calling underneath. Fox picks up his first. Team fifth, 1-1 remainder of the game. Following the act of shooting, you get 2 shots regardless. 72-40, 32 point spread.
At the line. Shooting the one.
Nice crowd on hand for this A championship game. As Bill Hillgrove said about 8 minutes ago, what can you say after you've said it all? Don't forget, stay tuned because we have boys AA and girls AA championship games to follow. AAA to follow in the day of championship games. 2 remaining, AAA girls, AAA boys for the state of Pennsylvania. This is what it's all about, the culmination of a fantastic season for many teams. Win or lose, when you get into Hershey, you know you're the best. You've come this far, you're watching 2 of the best teams in the state right now. Wow, wouldn't. 76-40, 5:54 remains. That's what? Boys moving up and down the floor. Look at that drive down the lane, but a block by Schultz. Evans went through 3 men. Once he gets by Wooten, usually Stevenson's around somewhere to pick him up. Wooten had just picked up his 19th point. He averages 10 a game.
5:32 left of the 4th quarter. You got to wonder now about Red Wallace going to his bench. I think he's going to start to now, but you know, these are all seniors, and he wants to see them play their last few moments of basketball before they're gone. So I'm sure that he's trying to delay that inevitability as long as he can.
Well, I know Coach Wayne Long from Shanksville Stony Creek would like to see Coach Mike Red Wallace from Elk Lake just hung this play down.
You get the rebound here inside. Ball picked up by Musser. Just another ball fake, and he draws the foul on Stevenson.
Chris Kernan comes in for Schultz.
22, Chris Musser at the line.
5:12 remaining. 78-40 is the score. Around the rim, no good. Evans is hitting the boards. Evans didn't have position. Stevens did. And Stevenson brought the puck in the bounce back. That pinpoint passing into Hunsinger. Let's watch that again. Watch it. Go ahead.
Hey, here's Stevenson again. Excellent pass off the move. Good shot, good play.
And Dave Tewksbury, the point guard for Elk Lake, says we want a timeout with 4:52 remaining in this championship game. Double, 2-1. It's 80 for Elk Lake and 40 for Shanksville Stony Creek. As we look at some of the faces in the crowd.
The reason for that timeout is Stevenson, evidently on that play, was hurt a little bit, and he's sitting down on the bench being attended to by some of the people from Elk Lake.
And this is the cheerleading team with pyramids. They love to build pyramids every time they come out. They must also double on the tumbling team. Look at that. That's nice. Very sturdy.
I'm sure if we were keeping stats, despite the fact that Stevenson's in double figures, I'm sure he's well in double figures.
I don't like to use excuses. I don't think this is an excuse, but Shanksville going into that 4 overtime had to take something out of them, although I don't think it would have hindered the outcome of the game. But Shanksville is standing around. They were standing around, not in the earlier part of the game. That's what they needed. Now they get it. Dennis Reedman hit the boards. That 3rd effort put it in. Wooten. Double team. Hunsinger. Into Stevenson. Which will he do? What will he do? Oh, he went down the lane. He was wide open, but he couldn't control the ball.
That's the only mistake he's made today, I think.
Every once in a while, it happens in the game where one player dominates, whether it's girls, boys, no matter what division. And it's masterpiece, and you just have to watch it. Like watching the flying
If you want to go to
artist.
Dunmore, make a right. If you want to go to North Scranton, you make a left
Speaking
on
from
Green
a
Ridge.
coach's point of view at this particular time, when you're down by this many points with 4 minutes left in the go, it seems like the clock is dragging. Been in that situation a couple of times.
Look at that. Jumped right, went left. Watch this move. Watch the body control. Watch. Stops
Good
there.
hustle. Sees the man coming out of his corner
Fakes.
side. Just a little
Right,
ball fake.
left.
Woo. Nice move.
This place will thunder when Stevenson's taken out of the lineup.
Baseline, good. Freeman's hit the last 2 field goals for the Vikings.
Think about the only thing that we haven't seen him do today is dunk one.
Yeah, it's a surprise. You know, I thought we'd see more dunking, and we haven't seen it in the state tournament. The boys are capable, and a few of the girls. I know the cheerleaders with their pyramid, they could dunk it.
I was going to say, Chili, you know, the basketball team has a team doctor. The cheerleading squad has a team chiropractor.
Dave Lowry hit it. Watch this.
Ball inside to Lowry. Again, he's got just a little ball fake there. Good body control. Stevenson missed the foul.
Shanksville Stony Creek, you know they have to be a good team. They came in 28-1, and they just ran out of gas. The energy shortage, and that's all there is to it. I don't think if they would play again and say within 3 or 4 days, I don't think Elk Lake would beat them by this score again. I don't think so. I think they would beat them, but I don't think it would be this much of a difference.
It'd be interesting if we could find out what the all-time scoring record is for a single game.
Well, you posed an interesting question. Why don't you go down to the scorer's table and find out? That's a good question. It really is.
I'm sure he must be getting relatively close to it.
Obviously, Chili, here we go.
Wooden coming out. I think Coach Red Wallace will take them out one at a time, and the last one will be Stevenson. A little bit of showbiz. 3:04 remaining in this game, 84-47. Freeman tried to put it in. Loose ball underneath, batted out of bounds by Kernan.
47 points has to be close to an individual record, too. That'd be interesting to check that figure.
Maybe somebody in the truck, Hugh Downing or Jim Swinning, can send what we call in the business a gopher and pick up a cup of coffee and some stats.
You think Stevenson might make the all-tournament team?
In all fairness to the gentleman you're watching, Todd Evans and his very fine Shanksville Stony Creek teammates, they are out of gas after that 4-overtime whopper yesterday, and I think that's really taken its toll in this ball club.
2:56 remains, 84-49. Stevenson now will go one-on-one against Freeman. Stops 13 feet short, hit. Stevenson just picked up his 49th point. And that's how many teams, ironically, Shanksville Stony Creek has. He's been keeping pace with the total output of the Vikings. That's Evans.
Red Wallace didn't want to take him out in a tie ball game, Chili.
It's a powerful team we're watching out there. I remember years ago, down through the years, Ambridge with Wysick and DeVenzio. That was a powerful team. Durrett from the city of Pittsburgh. The Midland teams. I'd say this team ranks right up there. As a team, 5 players. There's not a weak man on that floor. And good coaching. The veteran, Mike Red Wallace. Evans converts. It's 86-40, 86-50, 2:35. Disciplined team. They know where they're going with it. And I see some of the QED production people over at the scorers table trying to find out what we posed as the question. Individual score. Maybe the truck will send the information up. They'd get it for Howard Cosell. Who? Some local announcer. Sounds a lot like somebody else. Ever blows his nose, he won't have a career. Oh-wee. Evans put the hand up near the iron there. Could have been goaltending, but they got the field goal. Didn't matter. 88-50. There's not much you can say, not much you can do. 4 persons. Pittsburgh, 4th. I imagine Coach Red Wallace will be taking Tewksbury out soon. Substitution number 35, Dave Laper, getting ready to come into the lineup for Elk Lake. Let's see who he'll replace. He looks tall. It'll be Tewksbury or maybe Stevenson. Tewksbury. Yes, there are only 2 starters remaining. I guess the next one will be Jim Hunsinger, and that will be followed by the Thundering Herd of Bob Stevenson. He's 6'4", but he jumps like he's 6'8". Evans jumps very well. No basket. 23 on the arm. Kernan is first. 38 points separate these two teams. So Elk Lake maintains their average of 30 points of victory. Over 30 points on the victory. Wow.
They're well above their average of points per game, which was 81.6 coming in.
Stevenson under the boards gets the lead pass out to Hunsinger. Lead pass all the way over to Kernan. There are 2 Kernans on the team, brothers.
Number 50 coming up.
51. Woo-wee. What a performance. Foul called on number 15, Jake Warner. His first. Up third for Warner. Jake's been in longer than I thought. 1:41 remaining. Evans converts. He had 17 points at the end of the third quarter, and now 19, 20, 22, 24, 25 points. And he's averaged 29. Stevenson, let's see what he'll do against Evans. Look at that behind the back. Look at that. Behind the back on the dribble, body control. Stevenson got the field goal. Just amazing. Do we have that on replay?
Great second and third effort on his part.
He was going to get that basket regardless.
Red Wallace, the coach, keeping him in, letting him get the points. Maybe they are going for a record or something.
Quite possible.
Oh, I don't know what happened. He's losing his touch. He missed. Traveling violation. All right, let's see who 51 is coming in. Stevenson is the only remaining starter with 39 seconds remaining.
Number 14.
Apparently, he's aware of it, Chili. He looks like he's trying to force it. He's trying to get those 2 points, so that's maybe how close he is right now.
To break it. How many does he have for a total?
It may be a record for all divisions. It may be an A, AA, and AAA record.
I think you're right, because the scorer across the table, or at the scorer's bench, was a little upset that he missed that last shot and held up 2 fingers like he needed the 2 points.
How do you think his substitute feels? He wants to get in the game, too.
He's looking up at the clock, and with 39 seconds left, they must need that 1 bucket.
Wayne Long ought to go into a stall, huh? 33. Evans down the lane. 30 seconds. Both teams clearing their bench. I'll tell you one thing, though. Elk Lake, they didn't get their players in very soon. They did go all the way. They went for the score. Evans, 13-footer. Stevenson, he's going. He's going. On him. Stay on him. Yes, that's it. Seconds remaining in this game. And Coach Mike Red Wallace wants a timeout. With 9 seconds remaining, the score is 94 to 58. Why do you think Red Wallace called this timeout, Doc?
He still might need maybe a bucket or a point or so to break that record. It's the only thing I can think of. He might be tied. Maybe that's what the situation is. He needs 1 point to break it.
I see Charlie McCullough over there talking. But then again, he may have called a timeout to take him out. I see a couple of substitutes.
He's got 2 starters coming back in. They're going to try to set up Stevenson.
I see. Yeah, 2 Spurs coming in. Hunsinger. They're going for some sort of a record. I tell you, 55 points, I don't know when it will ever be broken. It's amazing.
The young man deserves the opportunity to break it. No question about it. You cannot question the motives of Elk Lake coach Mike Wallace in any way.
What an individual performance. But as a team, he has 55, but remember, the team has 94. And the assist, as we mentioned before, Bob Stevenson said it must be at least 15.
Hold on, you guys, let's go!
9 seconds. Evans at the free throw line. He has 27 points. The sportsmanship in this game, I would like to say, on the part of both teams has been excellent. And Shanksville could have been humiliated, you know, with the difference in points and lost their cool, but I would like to congratulate both teams on determination.
Let's see what they do to set it up, Chili.
7 seconds. Here he goes. Stevenson with fouls. By Evans. 3 seconds. 94. There's Evans over there. 2 of the best players on the field.
You talk about pressure foul shots.
Can you imagine? He has 55 points in a game, and it's a pressure foul shot. Now, that's ironic.
I think we should note that Todd Evans just fouled out.
Substitute coming in.
Brought to end a great career on his part.
Mike Wallace clearing his bench.
Evans fouled out with his average 29 points.
They'd like to get Stevenson out for a standing ovation, but there's 3 seconds. I don't know if they could possibly call a timeout to get him out. Oh, too bad. That's it. Fantastic. Good individual performance. 94 to 60. Our congratulations to the Elk Lake Warriors. They are the Class A PIAA champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Number 43, Bob
Elk Lake couldn't play any better. I don't know as the machine, they were finely honed. I don't know how they could have played a better game. What were they saying, Bill? Doug?
I couldn't pick it up. They announced that it was 55, Doug.
He fell 2 points short of tying the all-time record.
Wowee. Let's take a look at the dunk that gave Stevenson 55 points. Watch this.
He just accelerates here. He's going to pass up about 3 people on the way down the floor. Takes off at the foul line.
Ooh.
He gets up in the air a little bit.
Doug, comments?
There's not much you really can say after the great performance that Stevenson put on. He's going to be a heck of a ball player. Going to make some coach a happy player.
Bill?
My only comment is, Chili, that I'm happy to be at the Hershey Park Arena today to witness such a great team and individual performance. You can't say enough about Coach Red Wallace and his Elk Lake Warriors and Bob Stevenson. It was a joy.
Our congratulations to both teams, well coached, and especially congratulations to Mike Red Wallace, the championship coach, Class A PIAA Elk Lake. That's the end of this PIAA championship game. Once again, the final score was Elk Lake 94, Shanksville, Stony Creek 60. We return you now to our
game. Stevenson with 55, Wooden with 19, Schultz with 2, Hunsinger with 6, Tewksbury with 10, and Kernan with 2. The Warriors were 41 for 56 in the field. That's like 73%. 12 for 16 from the foul line. Out-rebounded Shanksville almost 2-1, 38 to 22. Shanksville only shot 21 for 64 from the field, 33%.